I'm going to shave this monstrosity of a beard today, I think. I'm pretty sore from going to the gym lately. I'm probably 50-50 on whether I'm going to go today. Taking a day of, you know, to heal might be a good idea right now. So I was thinking I should try to stay focused and make one video about the true story as close to I can get it to what MK Ultra has meant for me. And so let's start. You know, in Harry Potter, the dude lives under the stairs and they don't treat him like family. Well, my aunt was named Susan Ryan. And she died on Route 88 in Hampton Falls, New Hampshire. I think she might have been my actual mother. I don't know why I believe this, except that the people who said they were my birth parents moved here to New Hampshire, to Hampton Beach, where she lived on King's Highway, coincidentally, since I'm supposed to be the King of England soon. King's Highway in Hampton, New Hampshire. Susan Ryan. She was hit by a horse. She was riding a horse across the street and got hit by a car. She had spina bifida. She died. Somehow the car ran her head over, even though she was on a horse. It's almost impossible. Unless she was walking the horse across the street. Just the physics of it doesn't make sense. And she died, and the guy who hit her, he killed himself from the guilt. It certainly wasn't his fault, but I figure they're probably, soulmates happily ever after. It just feels that way to me. I wouldn't be surprised if she got herself killed on purpose. It's even possible. Yeah, it's just possible. I can't find much information on that, how that all happened. My parents, my birth mother, the one who says she's my birth mother, last I heard was, she said to me, just because I shit you out doesn't make me your mother. So then I'm like, okay, because shitting me out doesn't make me you my mother. Your dad, my grandfather, is friends with George H.W. Bush. So what laboratory was I made in that you giving birth to me doesn't make you my mother? You know? You see what I'm saying? I mean, why was George H.W. Bush in my life at all? Like, being friends with my grandfather is one thing, but, why did I meet him in Kennebunkport? I think it was for a fight club. I think I really did kill people with my bare hands. My whole life people wanted to see me fight. Even the AI, I was told, wanted to see me fight. You don't want to see me fight. Not if you like me. Because hate is a very ugly emotion. Puts me in it's not good for my body. It's not good for me. If you care about me, you don't want me to hate. To assume that what I say about war is because of hate is an easy mistake to make. It's really the difference between the left hand and the right hand of God. The left hand is Uncle Sam, the military, Samael. called by people of low theosophical intelligence the satanic left-hand path, which it's not. It's the left hand of God. And the right hand of God is Apollyon. I've had this struggle within myself. My right hand almost cut off my own penis when I was somewhere between 4 and 7 years old. I had my memories wiped and the Neuralink implanted when I was 18. During the 28 days, they sedated me and tested me and gave me electric shock therapy. And if you watch the Above Majestic documentary, that's about me. There's no other reason King George would be in the damn thing. My name is Jonathan Ryan George. So having my memories wiped by the heavy dosage of drugs and the electric shock therapy kind of put a kink in me being able to remember much. And it also triggers something which makes me forget what I'm talking about, apparently. This happens on a fairly regular basis. So when George H.W. Bush died, there were 5 days where it felt like he was trying to enter my head. Like literally. Like I had a tooth that was broken, okay? But that tooth hurt so goddamn bad all of a sudden for 5 days. And somebody said I was being triggered. They were like, well, that was impressive that, you went through all that being triggered and, I didn't end up getting arrested, which was necessary for some reason. So I could testify about something classified. Maybe. I don't know. I'm a special case. Clearly. I spilled some Hershey syrup, which I shouldn't have done. So we're under a secret. I think it's special service, special protection. I think it's British more than American because of the King stuff. MI5, MI6 is special service, whereas like the president's guarded by the Secret Service. So Secret Service is American, special service is British. It's actually very sad. Bunch of stories when it really comes down to it. But so I fell down I was scared one time in my life. Maybe I was 10 years old, maybe younger, 6 or 7, 6. I did make UFOs with my hands and with my mind when I was young, and on February 15th, 2018, the earthquake in Exeter, New Hampshire was accompanied by UFOs, which I photographed, of course. Nobody else photographed them, but I did. Strange, right? High strangeness. Is the King divine? The King is divine, yes. People have no idea what it's like to be in that kind of a position of power. I've done so in many of my previous lives, which is why Above Majestic, they know. This hurts me so much. I don't know why, and I don't know if you understand or even believe me when I say it hurts. the types of coincidences and strangeness that happens. It's, to me, it's not human at all. It's not even possibility that it's a function of human lifespan, human living, people living, but part of Earth, I believe this that I've been through is. I believe Earth and older spirituality, and maybe I'm a little bit sexist, but I believe women understand my spirituality and the world I live in better than any man ever could. It's between life and death. It's between heaven and hell. It's between earth and infinity. And these words fail to explain it. But I was on the stairs somewhere around age 6, 7, 4, and I felt like I was about to be bit by a snake. I was really scared. So one time in my life I was scared, petrified, like I was about to get bit by a snake. And suddenly I was flying down those stairs head first. It was only like 6 or 7 more steps to the bottom. I'm assuming I was beaten upstairs, maybe raped. I don't know by who. And I went down those stairs hard. I remember that. And then I remember nothing for weeks, months, years, a decade. But I do remember seeing a picture of myself with my face all swollen up like a basketball. Larry Bird had a facial fracture which caused his face to be partially concave temporarily. And the left side of my face, it does remind me of Apollyon or Abaddon. And I think it's always been like that, but it's just not something you notice. And if it's from laying down this long, then if I've physically been deformed by laying here, then you can imagine how painful it might be. Because it's been terribly painful. And in this time, I remembered, along with my one true wife, my truest wife, who's like me in that you can't really describe her properly. You know, you just have to trust. And there's a difference between men and women. Men are better with words. 9 times out of 10, this is true. Women understand their emotions better. They understand nature better. But I saw a picture of myself like a decade later or more, and my head was swollen up like a basketball. And, you know, they say kids are resilient. I was crawling back and forth on the couch. I used to call myself Flash. I used to try to be Flash Gordon, basically. It was fun for me. I could crawl really fast. And there was this picture on the mantle of me wearing similar onesies, pajamas, and there was puke coming out of my mouth. Like, why would you have a picture of yourself with puke like puking. Why would that be like a family picture or a picture of you where you got puke coming out of your mouth? And later on, through some means I don't understand, I was able to remember um, my pacifier being stuck in my ass and then in my mouth, which made me puke. And that picture, I was apparently in pornography, child pornography, when I was young, maybe 2 to 6 years old. I know that confused people when I first mentioned it. It's like, I'm sorry, people don't want to ask questions outright because they feel rude, but maybe they should, instead of like making all these assumptions. But I know you can't all ask me questions if there's like millions and that's being hidden from me. If what people are saying to me is, or about me, is so horrible, it's better I don't see. I don't need to know. They can't imagine. I can imagine what they say, but they can't imagine the truth. They can't even imagine it. Not if they're hating me. So, instead of going to kindergarten, in kindergarten, I taped a bunch of tacks to my teacher's chair in kindergarten. If she had sat down, she would have had like 80 or 100 holes in her rear end. The tacks were taped down good with the pointy side facing up. And she came back and went to her chair, and she looked at me. She looked at the class, and I was like, everyone else is doing their work. And I had set a booby trap for my kindergarten teacher, where if she sat down, she was probably going to go to the emergency room. But I'll tell you what, man, I am psychic. I knew she was not going to sit on that thing. I knew it. And matter of fact, I think I might have seen her standing at the back of the classroom watching me do that. It must have taken a while, It was like 80 thumbtacks, a serious roll of tape. Like, I did work, That was kindergarten. But that might have led to the beating, actually, because in the next year at pre-first, I didn't go to first grade. Some of us went to what was called pre-first, which seems to me, looking back, to be some kind of an agency class that was set up where I had to decide what powerful shapes were and numbers. It was unusual. It was strange. But I had to go for occupational therapy and speech therapy because whatever had happened to me took my fine motor control. I've never had good handwriting since some bailiff asshole said I was disrespectful because my handwriting was bad. He doesn't know what I've been through. He wouldn't care anyway, probably. And I usually just say, it's doctor's handwriting, but he was like, no. He told me how disrespectful I am when he doesn't understand the entire system is corrupt and put me and my family through hell. I got pictures of Obama and Joe Biden flying over my house, burning my face, and my daughters as well, on October 14th, 2017. So this all goes very deep, and this is what I've actually lived. This isn't a joke.